The only real God is the one that you believe in. Start looking for the God in others. And if you find you're tuning into a wave, well then I don't know much about being saved.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, friends.
Welcome into another episode of Spiritual Philosophy Chatter with the Joneses. I'm Danny Jones.
And I am Samantha Jones.
And this is episode 187.
187.
What are we doing today?
We are doing readings by Samantha Jones. That's
For
me.
good reason.
Yes, for good reason. And we are going to explain that to you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Cool. But before we do all that, is there anything that you wanted to talk about from last week?
Last week we did Becoming a Light Worker, and we hope that you enjoyed that. I got a lot of messages from people that they enjoyed that, but I don't have anything else on that. I wanted to go straight into this, that we apologize so much if you had seen on our social media that we were planning on doing an ego episode this week. Life went haywire this week. We are actually recording Sunday afternoon, and usually this podcast is available at midnight on Sundays.
Yeah.
So it's been rough. We had a flood and a gas leak and an accident, a car accident, all in 1 week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been rough. But we've had a lot of messages from listeners because we put up just basic stuff about what was going on in the discussion group, and we had some messages. So I just wanted to tell everybody that we're okay, that, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a lot of inconvenience. But, we had a hot water leak in the slab.
Yeah.
That came up in the one room that has carpet in the entire house and caused a major nightmare. And so our living room is basically a bubble right now. The area that we have Christmas in.
Yeah, basically half the house doesn't have hot water.
Yeah.
But
we
the
don't
other
have
half
heat.
Does. No heat right now.
But I'll tell you, those little portable heaters, they really do a good job.
Thank God.
Yeah,
we have
thank
electricity and that the lifesaver. And like you said, the people that have reached out, you know, thank you so much. Everybody's been really cool and sweet, supportive. Nice to know that people care. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Yes. And something that I want to talk about it is that the accident that our daughter was in a car accident, a second one.
Yeah.
And she totaled her car. And the thing that's interesting about this is that one of the very first things that I was told the night that my abilities started really coming out was about an accident when Marina was 17 years old. And we had been preparing for this for years.
Yeah.
But we didn't think it was going to be her. We just thought it related to somebody that she's close to, but it ended up being her after all.
Right.
And it's been tough on all of us.
Well,
She's okay,
we kind
though.
of thought, 2 months ago she got in a more minor accident, and I think we both thought maybe that's what it was.
Yes.
That's the one they were referring to, the universe, but apparently not.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Rita that today. I was like, really? This little minor fender bender is what you guys told me 5 years ago and have been preparing us for all this time?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all the airbags went off in the car. It's a total. So
But she's okay. Everybody's okay.
Yeah.
So that's the most important thing.
Yeah, so trying to coordinate all of that, and then the house stuff has just left us with no spare time. And so we did not get poll questions up. Like, next thing I knew, it was Friday, and I was like, I haven't put any poll questions up. Yeah. So we decided to just go with the reading episode this week, and we apologize, but next week we will go on as scheduled with our ego episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're sorry for the inconvenience.
We are, yes, absolutely. So, so we are going to do the 2 questions. We answer 2 questions every week, and then we'll just go and do since we're doing readings, not do a reading.
Sure.
Okay. So the first question is from Amber. She says, you both talked recently about being baptized as adults and kind of regretting it. Do you think the universe frowns on the decision to be baptized?
I don't regret it. I don't. I guess it's all your intention either way. It's what you feel it is. To me, that's what I believe.
Yes.
Do I feel like it was a waste of time? Not really. At the time, it served my purpose. But now, does it apply per se to my life in some significant way? I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that everything happens for us to have learning experiences.
Yeah.
My mom was still alive when I was baptized, but I have a feeling that she would have tried to stop me if she wasn't. Not because it was a waste of time, but just because it wasn't the right path to go down. You know, it was not I wasn't supposed to go down the religious path.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the universe or God or anybody frowns upon it. I think they look at it as a learning experience, of being able to look back and go, well, okay, my beliefs at that time weren't really, you know.
Well, that's what I mean. I feel like if your intention or the pureness of your intention in that situation is that you're trying to be closer to God.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. Yeah. I would think that it would do something for you.
Right.
But so could taking a walk through the forest, sitting at the beach.
Yep.
You know, staring at the clouds. I mean, it's what is your intention?
Yeah.
Are you trying to connect? Are you trying to get closer? Or are you doing this to follow what others say is maybe necessary or looks popular or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like the reason of doing it, you know, yeah, the universe isn't going to frown on you, but of course, if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, it's the wrong path. Yeah. And I think I definitely was doing it for the wrong reasons. I think I was doing it because I thought, I'm going to go to hell.
Yeah, that's the whole idea is like to be washed of your sins and, you know, but yeah, I've removed that part. So it doesn't, that's why I say it doesn't really apply to me today.
Yeah.
Because I believe that I can achieve that connection anywhere throughout any day whenever I choose to.
Yeah. I always felt really left out as a kid because everybody that I knew was baptized. Yeah. And when they would ask me, you know, are you baptized or when were you baptized? And I would be one of the few that went, no, I'm not. Because I went to religious schools part of the time too, you know?
Right.
And so they kind of looked down like, you weren't baptized? Oh, you're going to hell.
But that's not even an issue for me anymore.
Nope, not anymore.
I look at it as it's irrelevant.
Yep. But then it was. And so you can see that time changes things. Time changes your perception. And
that's part of that fear that's that's injected into, I think, a religious community.
It's very much fear. Very, very much. Yeah, absolutely. So I hope that answers your question, Amber. And that was a great question.
Yeah, thank you, Amber.
The second question is from my brother-in-law, Jared. He had this really deep thought, and I really liked it. And it was that he feels that once upon a time, animals and humans were able to communicate telepathically. That was just something we were able to do. And so he was wondering why we can't do that anymore. Is it that they decided to not communicate with us, or we decided not to communicate with them? And that kind of thing. And so I said, you know what? I believe this. I believe that telepathy was way more used in a lot of different societies and times. The ancient Egyptians, I absolutely believe they used it for a lot more things than we use it for. Communicating with animals could absolutely be one of those things. I think it's our ego that stopped us.
Yeah.
So I think that we, for whatever reason, over time, just thought this is silly and it, I don't know.
Right.
As things...
And as civilizations disappeared, for whatever reason, you know, catastrophically or whatever, those were the civilizations that had the knowledge from the past.
Yes.
And when things are wiped out drastically, it's left with few of those people to still carry that message on. So it's almost in a way like starting over. Yeah. Like we don't understand. We don't know that we can do this. Yeah.
Another part of his question was, can anybody do it? Or was it something even back then that you had to kind of learn how to do? And I believe that anybody can do it.
I believe it.
Even now, that anybody can, especially the talking to part. I think the
anybody
hearing...
can do that.
Yeah.
The hearing is... No, I for myself, not on a regular, but I have heard.
Yeah, I think that it's not necessarily that you can't. It's that you have to open that. You have to work on that. That's a muscle. Where learning that how to connect telepathically to give them messages is a lot easier. So I really think that all of us have the abilities to do all of the things that like what I can do today in the readings and all just has to be worked at.
And a better understanding too, I think, of that process. So when I say that I don't hear them on a regular back, but I do. A lot of times when those I do's is I'm thinking it's just a thought that popped into my head. Like, oh, Betty looks cold. She might want that blanket on her. Mm-hmm. Or that bone is like 12 inches away out of Sab's reach, and I know he wants it.
Right.
But he can't quite reach it. He's like telling me, can you bring that? Can you get that for me? Can you cover me with that blanket? Mm-hmm. I think of it in terms a lot of my own thought.
Right.
But it's not necessarily.
If you listen, well, Jared did, but if the other listeners listened to my radio show when I had my sister on, that's exactly how she described it, is that she's been a dog groomer for 20 years, and she always thought that she just, was guessing, or that it was just obvious to anybody, and it's not just obvious. It really is that connection to them, so, yeah. So I hope that answers your question, Jared.
Good one, Jared.
Yeah. Thank you. And then let's give our info, and then we'll get on to the readings.
Yes.
So you can find me at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. I have a radio show that is on every Wednesday live on VoiceAmerica.com on the Empowerment Channel at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This last week, I had Charissa Bloomberg. She is a celebrity psychologist, but she talked about dolphins.
It was cool.
Yeah, so you can go back and hear that on demand on any of the podcast platforms. You just look for Beyond the Bridge. This coming week, my friend Carrie is going to be on the show. She has a business called Moon Raven Magic, where she sells crystals and she makes teas and stuff like that. And we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about her struggles to open up these abilities that she has and finally becoming this person that she needs to be in this spiritual way, because it was a really tough journey for her. Mm-hmm. So empowerment and,
Yeah.
So that's the radio show this week.
Cool.
And then for you, sir.
Yes, for my art, djonesartcollection.com for the web, at djonesartcollection for Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we are going to share one more song today at the end from the recordings that I've been working on. And this song that you'll hear is called Warning. And we'll play that at the end after our theme music ends.
Yay.
Cool.
Yeah. Fabulous.
That's it for me.
All right.
All right, then. Episode 187, Readings by Samantha.
Readings by me. Our dogs are being very needy today.
Yeah, they are.
So I think you're going to have to keep them occupied.
Up in my grill.
Yeah, and Zuma's he's just been staring at me like, I want that big bed over there. He's too cute. Okay, but I'm sorry, you guys, I have to talk to other animals now. So I'm going to do a little bit of everything today. There's animal readings, there's spirit readings, there's psychic readings. So I love to show the wide range of things I can do.
Nice.
So this first one is from Jenna, and she says, "This is Benny, and he is living. We lost our female alpha dog in January, very tragic and sudden. And Benny was launched into the alpha role of our pack. I'm curious if he misses Lily and just generally if he is okay with shifting roles." Okay. Benny. This Benny. He's beautiful. He has...
totally, that's cool.
Yeah, his face is half white and half black.
I love that contrast. Mm-hmm. And then one black ear on the white side, that's cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. Okay, so let's talk to Benny. And then I also got a picture of Lily so that we can, the one that has passed, so that we can kind of talk to her too. Okay. He's telling me that he's okay now. When it first happened, he was very confused and very sad and grieved a lot, just like you guys did. I see him sleeping more when that happened, that he felt like he just wanted to sleep. And it's so sad that our animals grieve with us, but they have feelings just like us, so of course they will. Mm-hmm. She was his best friend, he says. It wasn't just the alpha role that she had, it was that she made him feel secure about himself and that they were really good friends. So losing her was very hard for him.
Bummer.
Yeah. But he's doing okay now. He's doing okay with the shifting of the roles, with the losing of his best friend, and he's starting to really like that role. Like he feels I don't want to use the word important. Like, that's the word he's using. I keep hearing important, but you're always important. So, I don't want him to think that he's not. But he says he feels more important. Like, he has a job. He has more of a role in the pack, in the family, because dogs are pack animals, and they all, like, in the wild, have roles that they play. So when they don't have roles in their own homes, sometimes that can make them feel a little bit weird or whatever. So he is very happy to be in that role and doesn't seem to be having too hard of a time with it a year later. Let me talk to Lily real quick, too. She's funny. She's bouncy. The first thing that she shows me... Did I show you Lily? This Lily.
Is this the newest?
This is the one that passed.
Oh, okay. This is the one that passed.
Yep. So she's bouncy. She's showing me kind of bouncing back and forth, which is, they do this to show me different behaviors that they did in life, to validate that it's them that's here. So I believe that that's why she's doing that. She had a lot of energy, and I'm not seeing why she passed, and that happens a lot of times in things that are tragic and sudden, that I block them. It's almost like I hear that word tragic, and it doesn't matter what it is, I block.
Yeah.
The wall immediately goes up, because I'm like, I don't want to see certain things.
Yeah.
So I'm not picking that up, and that's okay. But she wants you to know that the way that you handled things was as best as could be expected in the situation that you were in, and she doesn't want you to fault yourself for any things that you may think were a mistake, that you could have done more, that something that you shouldn't have. I'm picking up like guilt of, if I wouldn't have done this, then this wouldn't happen. And that's not the case at all. She wants you to know that that's not the case. Death is, we've talked about this, it's not random. It happens when it's supposed to. So this was just the time that she was supposed to exit for whatever reason. And there was nothing that could have been done to change that. Yeah. When it's their time, it's just their time. Same with us.
Yeah.
But she says she's proud of the pack for how they dealt with things. She says that she shows herself through, not so much through the alpha, the one we just talked to, but there's another one in particular that I'm feeling that she shows herself through a lot, different behaviors that she had in life that you'll see this other one doing. And that's one of the ways that she shows you that she's around. And she also is showing me that sometimes I feel like there's toys that will be moved, and you have other dogs, so it's like, okay, maybe one of the other dogs did it. Like, this is what I kind of feel like you seeing or hearing is like, okay, maybe another dog did it, but knowing there's no way. Like, nobody was in this room. Like, toys being moved like that, I feel like. So you might notice that as well as a sign from her. So
the first one that was suffering the loss of his best friend.
Benny, yes.
Benny. They have other dogs?
Yes.
So he's now moved into the alpha role.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out.
Yes, that's now become his role, which can be tough,
right.
But I think he's doing an okay job with it.
So she was the alpha before.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly.
All right.
Yep. Animals are funny, aren't they?
Yeah.
They've always got to have a pack leader. I mean, I guess we do too, Somebody's kind of got to be in charge.
Yeah.
And everybody has their role, So I hope that helped, Jenna. And
thanks, Jenna.
Yes, thank you.
And Benny.
Yes, and Benny. So some of the readings that I have today are for living people who are asking for readings on living people. If that makes sense. I don't do a lot of these. I don't usually do them in my group because they're kind of third-party readings, but these have to do with kids, and I think that I can help. So I decided to go ahead and do these on the show. I feel like helping parents to understand their kids better so that they can help their kids better is important.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get those 16, 17, 18-year-olds that come to me and go, here, tell my parents what they need to hear. So this is a good way for me to help them. So Crystal says, this is my son, Jacob. He's living. He just turned 18 this month. He is having such a hard time navigating senior year choices. He was going to join the military right out of high school, but kept hitting roadblocks with early enlistment and had a great fall sports season, and now is interested in attending college after a coach encouraged him. Just wanted to see if you see anything for his future. Senior year is stressful. Oh, yeah, we know. We have a senior as well, and she...
handsome young man.
Through all of it. Yes, he is. He is. Okay, so Jacob. Let me see what I can get for you for Jacob. Okay, first of all, the universe, and he has a very strong male spirit guide, but it's not just a spirit guide. This is a family member. This is somebody with a strong tie to him, probably grandpa, who is throwing these blockades up. These are roadblocks. He's not supposed to go in the military. That's why this didn't happen, and that's why this is happening with sports. This could be happening for a lot of reasons. A lot of people jump right to, the worst case scenario. Oh my gosh, he would die. If he goes, he's going to die. Right. That's not what this means.
Not necessarily.
No. I think that there's a lot that can happen in the military that we forget about, and so there's just things he doesn't need that.
Right.
It wouldn't be good for his future.
Curious if grandfather was in the military.
What?
Curious
if grandpa?
If this spirit was in the military and understands and is trying to avoid.
Yeah, I actually do. I think that you're right there, that has a part to do with it, because it does feel like there is a connection here to the military with this person. So that should help too, to figure out who this is. I have had that experience with military personnel before, that they are very against it. It's, for some people it works out great. For others, it ruins their whole life.
Yeah.
So just take this as a blessing. I think sports is a much better place for him. Actually, when I first saw the picture, I felt like that immediately, like, oh, he's an athlete. So away from the military. And that might be hard. A lot of times the kids, they don't want to listen to us. So I don't know if you could really just go and say, no, don't join the military.
Yeah.
But maybe just try and steer him in the right direction of going more towards college and towards the sports. I think that he will have a better experience. He will meet people that are more like him. It'll make him become a different, more caring, open person, where I feel like the military would very much shut him down. So the universe is trying to help him. He will navigate these things okay. But of course, that's what you guys are here for. You're here to help him to navigate those things and gently push him in the right direction without him actually knowing that you're trying to push him in that direction. But he will get it. He will. And he's going to be just fine, and he's going to make the right decisions for himself. And the universe will continue to put up these roadblocks, especially when it comes to the military. He will continue to have things like, if he tries to apply or do anything online, I feel like the technology side of them will kick in, and he won't be able to submit it, or like the internet will go down or something like that. They will stop this from happening. So I think it'll be stopped, and he will be just fine. So I hope that answers that for you, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal.
Yes, thank you for letting me read for you and help with him. The next one is from my friend Christina, and I've never read for Christina before. I've known her since I was 13 years old. And she also has abilities. She's Native American, so hers are more like along those lines. But I love it. I love to see the stuff she posts on Facebook, because she's very spiritual as well. So she just said she was looking for a reading for herself, career, dealing with disrespectful and difficult people, beginning a new business, money, whatever comes up. So I don't know if you know the Christina I'm talking about.
That looks familiar.
Okay. It seems like a lot of my friends from school are Christina, Jennifer, they all have like the same name.
Right,
Back
right.
then names were, so yeah, I got a lot of Christinas. Okay. So let me see what I can get for you. So I feel like you are the type of person that can't just be doing one thing. You need to have, here's my favorite word, my plethora of things to do, because it keeps your mind occupied. It keeps you healthier and more stimulated than just having one thing. I feel like you get bored easy, which I totally understand. So you are the type of person that will have a bunch of projects going at the same time and do a little here, a little there. And as weird as it may seem with career, that still feels like the right thing to do. Like, I don't feel like you should put all your eggs into one basket.
Is she the one that bartends up the street?
No.
Okay.
She lives, I think, Yucca Valley.
Oh, somebody else. Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're thinking about Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me see what else I can get for you, Christina. As far as your question of dealing with difficult people, you're always going to have to. Everybody has to. And the reason why this is happening, and I think you know this, you might just need a little reminder, is that this is how we learn. This is how we become the people that we are. Every time that we're faced with somebody that's difficult and we react to them better than we did the last time, it helps us with our karma. It helps us with our growth, with all kinds of things. So these difficult people that are put in your path, they're not put there to get you to, feel negatively or to, what's the word I'm looking, feel discouraged about something. Sometimes these might be roadblocks, but I don't feel like that, like what you're talking about with these people. I don't feel like these are roadblocks. I feel like this is more about trying to help you to not get so swept up in other people's emotions and feelings, because it's really not that important. I feel like myself, you're an empath. And so a lot of times that makes us want to help people. And so I feel like sometimes you want to help people and you can't, and then you take it personally. So they're telling me, don't take that personally. There's only so much you can do for people. People have their own damage and their own beliefs. And so you can't change those. All you can do is help them, You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
It's a double-edged sword in a way, because it's a lesson for both parties at the moment.
Yep.
Like that person might be needing a lesson on how to be nicer to people.
Yep.
And you yourself might be needing a lesson on how to be more patient and understanding.
Yeah.
Of these other people's issues. So it's right there. It's like something for everybody to tap into in a moment. But unfortunately, not everybody taps into it at the same moment.
Yep.
So,
yeah, I try and look at, when I deal with difficult people or people that are pushing my buttons, I try and look at it also as maybe I can help them. Mm-hmm. Maybe I can, just by being nice, by being myself and not letting them push my buttons. Yeah. Maybe I can help. And a lot of people it does, because some people just need somebody to be nice to them. With all this construction that's been going on, we had this one company that came in, and the guy was kind of like abrasive, and we just rent here, thankfully, or this would really suck even more. But she didn't like him because of his abrasiveness. Yeah. But he liked me, and we got along fine because I deal with those people instead of being where they are. Right. I am nice to them. And he even said to me, he's like, thank you for being so sweet. He probably doesn't get that. He probably gets people that like match him, So with people like that, I try and show them whatever it is that you have the chip on your shoulder for. Yeah. It doesn't need to be there, because not everybody's like that. Yeah. So that's kind of like the way, I don't know, I try and deal with difficult people, because they're there, and you will always be tested with those. For sure, we all will. So that's kind of a message for everybody, I think, for myself included. But Christina, before I finish up, I did want to say that as far as with you said about starting a new business, I think that you're the type of person that could have 5 businesses going at once and you'd be fine. So if you have an idea of something that you would like to do or try, go for it. Yeah. There's just something, I don't know how to explain it. I'm a lot like that, where I like to have multiple sources of income. I like to try new things, see what works for me. And I feel like you're kind of the same way, that it's like, how do you know if something's not for you unless you try it? Yeah. So try it. And go with it and see where it takes you, is what I'm feeling. Yeah. So hope that helps, Christina, and thank you for letting me read for you.
Yes.
Yeah,
thank you.
We've known each other a long time. Yeah, it's cool to read for people that I've known a long time like that. Okay, the next one that I'm going to do, I'm going to give a little bit of a backstory on this. If you listen to my radio show, you've already heard a little bit about this, but a few weeks ago, a client of mine was pet sitting for a lady who was in the hospital having a mastectomy. And while she was in the hospital, her dog got ill and had to be put to sleep. The dog had hemangiosarcoma, the cancer I talk about a lot. So the lady's in the hospital, and my client has to put the dog to sleep, and it's just, sucks. I mean, that really sucks for her to have to do that. But the lady was understanding about it, very nice, and whatever. So she's home now, the 92-year-old woman that had the mastectomy, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So Alicia sent this. This is my client, Alicia. She says, okay, so the story on Zelda. This is a dog we're going to talk to. I saw Zelda's picture and I was immediately drawn to her. I can't explain it. To me, she looked like Molly. That's the dog that was just put down, who had passed, only in white. I felt so compelled to run and tell Lou, that's the lady that the lady that had the surgery, that we needed to get this dog, and she agreed. She wanted to meet her family. I called the family and they brought her over. Anyways, a few days later, we were looking for a name for Zelda, a full name. So we decided Zelda Valentine Yeager. Yeager being Lou's last name. I sent a picture to the previous family saying Zelda was getting adjusted and explaining to them we had named her and that we had given her a birth date of February 14th. To my absolute shock, the owners responded back to tell us that this must have been godsend because her son who passed away was also named Yeager.
Whoa.
Yeah, crazy, right? And that his birthday was July 14th.
Wow.
Yeah, so 14. So I truly feel like this was God sent and Zelda was meant to be Lou's life to keep her company after Molly's passing. But they're having some issues with Zelda because she's new to this home. She's having severe separation anxiety and is pooping everywhere. So I'm going to talk to her today and explain to her what happened, what's going on. I don't know why she was given up, but I'm going to try and get into that because a lot of times that helps for them to know why they were given up, what happened. Did I do something wrong? So let me talk to Zelda. She really likes Lou. She says that she's very affectionate and she's just looking for love. And that's what Zelda needs. But she is having a hard time receiving that love right now because she is confused. Wow. So when Alicia asked me to do this, I actually had already talked to Zelda and asked her to please, understand we're going to talk more about this, but if she could stop kind of doing some of these behaviors. So I'm not really sure yet how it's going, but I have had a preliminary talk with her. She is very confused. She doesn't understand what just happened. How come I spent my life at this one house and now I'm in a different house with different people? And so I'm just explaining to her that it was nothing that she did, that she is a wonderful dog, that her previous family, for whatever reason, just could not take care of her anymore. And that Lou and Alicia are going to take care of her now and that they are her family. And that hopefully will help her to adjust better. You have no idea how this helps most animals when they come into a new home. Yeah. I love doing this because it really does help them.
Calm them.
Yes. What a horrible thing to not know. Are they coming back? I get asked that what did I do and are they coming back? And what I've tried to tell Zelda is you did not do anything wrong. And no, I'm sorry, they're not coming back. But that's okay because Lou and Alicia are going to be your family now. Yeah. And she's fine with that. She just really needed to know. She's just adjusting to this new life. And I feel like the accidents that she is having will stop. I would recommend getting her some CBD or hemp oil to try and take the edge off of her. If that doesn't help, you could even give a Benadryl because I feel like she is very nervous and that when something like frightens her, if there's a loud noise or something that she's unfamiliar with because she's experiencing new things now in this home that she wasn't experiencing before, that sets her off. And so I've explained to her, you're going to experience these things. They're just new things. Nothing's going to hurt you. You're not going to be hurt. So don't worry about that. And I'm hoping that these things will help. But that's what I see is like she gets startled or she's like alone and doesn't want to be alone. Those things. So, and you know what? The being alone when it's a new animal in a new home is so common. When Betty first came to live with us, she would bark the entire time that we were gone, remember? Yeah. Even one night we went to see the Rolling Stones and Marina was here and she barked the entire time we were gone. Yeah. So it just takes time. It takes a few months for them to really settle in. And so...
they will.
Yes. Yes. Zelda will absolutely get more comfortable with what's going on and it will become more familiar and more home. And I feel like she's going to be a good kind of therapy for Lou. I think being without Molly is hard for Lou, coming home to an empty house. Yeah. So, yeah. So hope that helps Alicia and Lou, and thank you for letting me help you with Zelda and with Molly.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a pleasure, even though it's been a horrible situation. Okay, next. Let's see what else we have here. Okay. This one is from Elaine. She said, I don't know if it's too late, but looks like you're still looking for more readings. The one I have for you a while ago was so good, I'll throw down another if you're still looking. My living daughter Jessica is adjusting to taking on guardianship of 2 teenage boys that have lost both parents. The family seems to be doing well adjusting. This just happened in September of this year. Wondering how she is doing, and I'll include a shot of the boys as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to start with the boys. I know that you're concerned about your daughter, but I feel like I need to get some stuff out about the boys first. This age that this happened at was better than if it would have happened 10 years ago. They're teenagers now. It sucks at any age. My brother was 16 when our mom passed, and it was very hard on him. But if that would have happened when he was 6, it would have been miserable. Yeah. So this sucks for them. But it doesn't suck as much as it would have. I don't know why I'm being told that. I think it's just important. You know what? I wish I would have gotten pictures of the parents, because that's who I feel like is coming through.
Right.
And I don't need a picture, but it just gives this extra level of personalization to the reading that I like. But what I'm feeling from the parents is that what your sister has done for the boys and for them, they can't ever repay her. Like, there's nothing that they could possibly do to repay her, but they're going to try. So she might already start seeing things like little gifts, like, where did this $100 come from?
Right.
Or how did I just get, this extra money, or whatever things that they like to do, just random things that you need or that are presents. She probably is already receiving those. So, they said to keep an eye out for those, and that's how they can try and repay her for what she has done for her boys. The parents are absolutely around their boys. They are trying to guide them as much as they can, but that's very hard when they're teenagers. They're not seeing the signs that the parents are trying to send, but as they get older, they will. They have a lot of, I don't know if they're questions or just, things that, of course, kids are going to think about after their parents pass away. Questions about why this happens, and God, and is it lights out, and all of that, and all of these things are going through their heads. Could this happen to me? Could this happen to somebody else I love? That's all part of the post-traumatic stress. So the boys could probably, if they're not already getting it, use some kind of counseling. I'm seeing like group with other kids that have lost their parents. There's actually a camp that kids can go to that have lost their parents. I think that's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, because if you don't have friends that have been through that,
nobody understands.
Nobody understands. So, so that would be good for them. As far as to answer your question about how is Jessica doing, she is a very, very strong woman, and she only took this on because she is so strong. There's a lot of people that couldn't have handled this, but for her, it was like the more the merrier. Welcome to the family. We will do everything that we can to try and make you feel comfortable, and she really wants to try and give them what their parents would have wanted them to have. And so I feel like right now, and a lot of us deal with things this way, is it's like not shut down. She's not shut down. She's just going with it. She's just, I have to do this, and I'm not going to really even question it. I'm not going to let it, even really fluctuate my mood sometimes. Right. It's like we just go, okay, I have to do this, and I'm doing it. And that's where she is with this. And I feel like once they're older and they've left the nest, that's when she will go, oh my God, this is what I did. Right. And because it is a lot of what she's doing. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. But she doesn't have the, I don't know what the word is here, but she can't do that right now. Right now, she's just kind of putting the blinders onto.
Right. She's focused.
Yep. She's focused. She's just on this path. And later on, it'll be like, wow. okay, I made it through that, and she's going to prove to herself just how strong she is by getting through this.
She'll be rewarded.
Oh, yeah, she will. Like I said, they're already trying to give her rewards.
Yeah.
So, yes, the parents are very grateful. I see them together. I don't know if you would know this information, but I feel like this couple that passed, that they had a miscarriage along the way somehow somewhere in their relationship, because I see them with a young child that a lot of times what happens is I might see the soul. So let's say that they had this miscarriage 4 years ago. I would see the child as like 4 years old, and this child looks to be somewhere between that and 6. I'm so bad with ages, so I'm just going to say somewhere in that adolescent age. So that's what they're showing me. So I hope that helps you, Elaine, and thank you for letting me do that for you.
Yeah, thank you, Elaine.
Yep. Okay, what do we got here? Okay, we got time for more. Alrighty. So a few years ago, I did this medium circle. And Elaine, the lady that we just did the reading for, she invited her friend Bob. And Bob showed up to the medium circle, and this was the first time that we ever met him.
Yep.
And we've talked about Bob before. We were all very drawn to him.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. We just were. We all talked about him afterwards. Wasn't he cute?
I know. I wanted to hug him.
Yeah, exactly. So Bob, gosh, I want to say it was like a year or so ago, maybe a little bit more. He adopted a dog, and that dog ended up passing away, had health issues.
Yeah.
So now he's adopted another dog, and this dog is Rudy. And so he asked
Congratulations.
if there's... Yes, congratulations, Bob.
To you both.
Yes, to you both. He said, is there anything you can tell me about Rudy? He is 8 years old, and I've had him for about 2 months now.
He is cute.
He is adorable. He has this little underbite. I love dogs with this little underbite.
Yeah.
Too cute. Okay. Let me talk to him.
Sorry about our snoring dog in the background, if you can hear him.
It's high. Yeah, these dogs are high maintenance today. A lot. Yeah. It's raining here and they don't like it. Okay, so, but Rudy's who we have to talk to, not snoring dogs. Okay. So Rudy is another one of these dogs that's kind of confused about what happened.
Yeah.
Where did
He
life...
looks a little like, what?
Who is this guy? He's starting to get it now, though. He's starting to get that this is home, that he's not leaving. At first, he thought that his original home was going to come and pick him up. But yeah, I feel like they surrendered him, or there was some issue. It wasn't like he was just lost and they never found him. This was definitely the family doesn't want him, which is very sad. But I tell him, don't take that personally. I want to tell all these dogs, don't take it personally, because a lot of times this isn't about you. This is about, maybe somebody's unhealthy or they have to move or whatever the case is. So it's not about you. And that helps them, like I said before, to adjust better.
Yeah.
So he knows now that it's not about him. He knows that this is a safe place for him and that you love him and he loves you unconditionally, even already. Even though it's only been a couple of months, he really, really enjoys your company. He loves to have somebody with him all the time.
Yeah.
And Bob is with him all the time. He was alone a lot before, I feel like, and that made him anxious. He likes to just snuggle up and be close to somebody. It's when he feels the most secure. I do feel like he has some anxiety. I see him kind of like shaking a little bit. But that's a part of who he is. And so don't take that personally or worry too much about it when it happens, because that's just who he is. I want to do a body scan since he's 8, just to check and make sure that everything looks good inside. What is this? This looks like endocrine, the endocrine system, which is thyroid and pancreas, and I think pancreas and stuff like that. So this isn't a big deal, but there might be some kind of like hyperthyroid or hypothyroid that might show in blood work. So if you ever do take him in for blood work, you might see that. If you want to take him in and have it checked, they will do medication, or maybe he's already on medication. But I am seeing that in there. This looks like it's got to be the thyroid, because it's like 2. Yeah, I'm going to say this is the thyroid. Can kidneys as well. Make sure that he drinks a lot of water because I feel like his kidneys are starting to slow down. And then another tidbit that I'm getting is low protein food. Okay, so he's probably in early stages of kidney failure. And that's okay. One of our dogs is too. It's not a huge deal because it is very early, I feel like. Low protein food. And then the vet can also give medications that can help to, like with our dog, he gets protein in his urine. And so the medication helps that. It's like a blood pressure medication. So I would, next time you take him to the vet, maybe talk to them about that. But he's okay. You just might notice that he drinks a lot. And as this progresses, he'll drink more and more and he'll pee more and more. But not something that you have to worry about right now. I feel like he still has a lot of time with you. It's very sweet of you to adopt another senior dog.
Yeah. Very cool, Bob. You're a good dude.
Yep. Because I can imagine how hard that is because you know that this dog could have a year. It could have 10 years. You don't know. Like with Betty, we have no clue. We don't even know how old she is. So you're taking that risk. You're taking on the possibility that they have health issues.
Yeah.
Something else that he's telling me is his nails. When they get too long, it hurts him, like when they hit the ground. So make sure that his nails are always at a reasonable length. If you can hear them hitting the ground, they're too long. That will help him with arthritis and that kind of thing as well, since he is a senior dog. So hope that helps, Bob.
Yay.
Yeah, and
That's
thanks
awesome
again.
Story.
Yeah, thanks again for adopting him.
Because, yeah, thanks, Bob.
That's wonderful. Okay, I have time for at least one more. This is a spirit reading. And it's funny because when I saw this come in, I kind of read it wrong. This is from Jen. And she says, if time allows, I would love if you could do a reading for a good friend of ours, Sammy, spelled Sami. I thought that she was asking me, Sammy, to do this reading. And so I asked her, what's your friend's name? No, because not many people spell it the same way, Sami. So I was like, that's funny. I wonder where she heard it spelled out. Okay, so now it makes more sense to me. Yeah. I try not to really read these in depth because I don't want any information before we do this. So I scan them, and then that's what happens when you scan. So she said she has passed on and we all miss her dearly. Her death was a tragedy and happened so quickly. Does she have anything she wants my sister to know? They were very close, and will her kids be okay with their current living situation? I hope she knows we all love and miss her vivacious soul. Oh man, another one with kids that lost a mom too early. Yeah, young. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Sammy. Yes, we have a lot in common, don't we? Especially in our name. Yep, the way we spell our name. It's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. She's good. She wants you to know that this was not her plan as a human. Like, she was not for 1 second thinking that this was how her life was going to go. She says she was way too unprepared. And a lot of times this is a parent's worst nightmare, that they're not prepared for their own death, so their children haven't been prepared, people around them. She was more prepared than some, but less prepared than she feels that she should have. She wishes that she would have had more life insurance for her kids, more things that would have set them up, for this to happen. And she's so sorry because, again, this was not her plan. This is always the universe's plan and our plan when we're a spirit. But when we're here, we don't know what the plan is, really. Right. We don't know, So I asked her, were there any signs? Like, did you have anything? Because sometimes people will tell me, I think I should have seen this coming. Like, there were things, and she says, no. There was really nothing. She was a very healthy person. She never in a million years thought that she was going to die this young. And so it was a complete shock to her and to everyone around her. I'm feeling like this was not like a quick illness that came on. This was more like an accident. Again, with that word tragedy, I kind of block it out. But
sudden.
I'm sudden. Feeling something in the stomach. So to me, that almost means like an impact, maybe a car accident. But I'm being drawn to her stomach and like the wind taken out of it suddenly. Let's see. What else you had asked in here? What she wants your sister to know. Your sister was a friend in a different way than a lot of people were friends to her. Your sister didn't want anything from her. A lot of people, for whatever reason, felt like they could provide, like she could provide something to them that others couldn't. Maybe it had to do with her job. But your sister wasn't like that. She was very much her friend because she loved her and they loved each other and they had a good time together. And your sister was one of the few people, she shows me them being like very, what's the word I'm looking for here? Immature, doing silly things together. One of the few people that she felt like she could really be vulnerable with and silly with. And so she thanks her for that a lot because it's nice to have a friend like that.
Yeah.
She does send your sister signs that she's around. She also sends you signs. She's showing me horses, and I believe Jen has horses, but she's showing me a behavior of one of them, one particular horse, where it looks like the horse is laughing, like throwing its head back and like neighing. And so somehow this relates to her. So I think if you see one of your horses doing this or, you know, hold on. Okay. So you might be thinking about her, and then all of a sudden your horse does this, or there's a horse that does this. That is what she's trying to say, is that that's a part of her getting through to say hello. So when the two things correspond, that's her. She sends signs in a lot of different ways, but she likes, it's funny, I haven't had many spirits say that. She likes to be unique about her signs. Like most people the spirits stick to the traditional, like birds and
butterflies.
And stuff like that. She likes to do weird things and watch the humans go, what was that? So if you have those moments where you're like, what was that? Probably Sammy. Yep. She's very thankful for the friendship that she had with you guys and with your family. You were always all very sweet and got along well. And she's telling me that she's proud of you and the life that you created for yourself as well and your beautiful family. And she wishes nothing but beauty and luck for you in the future.
I'm curious to know with Sammy, this is a totally weird question. Is this the first time that she's been contacted by a psychic or a medium?
That's a good question. Let me ask her.
I'm trying to get an idea, like, how excited they are when finally, like, you know, I just imagine the PA over in heaven. Sam, you have a phone call, line 1.
Well, it didn't quite work like that, she's saying. I knew I was going to do this reading.
Okay.
And so she was here for it. Excited, yes.
Right.
But I do feel like this is the first time that she's really talked to a medium that was close to somebody like this.
Right.
I feel like she has tried to get messages through and that they haven't gotten through, that your sister or yourself, actually, it's funny, this is good topic, that you guys know somebody else, but you might not know that this person is a psychic or medium really, and that she is delivering messages, but the person might not even realize that they're receiving messages from her. It just seems like logical stuff coming out of their mouth. So you'll have to tell me if you know what she's talking about. I think you do. I think you know who I'm talking about. That it's almost like she delivers messages. And the universe does this. The universe will talk to you through other people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So definitely it's talking. So there we go.
Cool.
So I hope that answers your questions, Jen. So I'm going to stop there.
Thanks, Jen and Sammy.
Yes, thank you both. I think that's what I got for you for today.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Yeah, they were good. And you know what? It felt good to do them too because I haven't worked as much this week as I would have liked to.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to do readings in my free reading group at all.
Understandably.
Yeah. So this was nice. It was nice for me. And I hope it was nice for you guys. And next week we will go back to our regularly scheduled show of...
hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I know. I guess I should never really say that. But as long as we don't have to leave our home, we should be okay. That is one thing that we've been told a couple of times is maybe you guys should go somewhere. And we just don't want to because 3 big dogs, a teenager, we don't want to go to a hotel.
Well, and the other issue, too, is that our lease is up here in April, and we were going to go month to month until we figured out where our daughter was going for school.
Yeah.
After high school. So to move twice
Yeah.
in under 6 months, no thank you.
No. We'll all be just adjusting to,
Yeah.
an Airbnb or whatever and then have to come home. I'd rather just stay here. So as long as we can stay home, because, we forgot to mention this, there's asbestos.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's so many things here, that it's like it just kept coming. But as long as they can contain the asbestos and it's safe, then we can stay.
But it really is a wonderful property.
No, we love it, but it's just, we live in Southern California where the homes in this area were built in the 60s.
Yeah.
And once upon a time they were brand new and amazing, and now they're falling apart.
And we see plumbing trucks in this neighborhood all the time. So it's just a matter of when it's your turn, and our neighbor had it. Yeah. Our exact, right next door neighbor, yep. Sally, she had it couple months ago or 4 to 6 months ago, same problems. So yeah, and we had other problems too. This is not the first plumbing problems, and the house we moved from, same thing. So it's like, I think we're now in agreement that the next house needs to not be a 1960s house, as beautiful as they are, because we like the retro look. Yeah. But you pay for it. You do pay for it, yeah. So anyways, long story short, we do really, 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 really hope to be here next week, and it should be fine. But if for some reason we're not, you guys know why now. Mm-hmm. So, but we will always come back. Yes. Yeah. All right. That being said. Very good. Yeah. Well, do you like to share your information one more time?
Yes. So you can find me at SamanthaJonesPsychicMedium.com. Again, my radio show airs live on Wednesdays on VoiceAmerica.com on the Empowerment Channel at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or you can hear it back on demand in any of the podcast platforms. It is called Beyond the Bridge with Samantha Jones.
Dare I ask, did you bring the
number? I wrote it down. Shit. Sorry. No. Oh, I thought I was prepared again. It really doesn't matter, because when you listen to the show, they give the number, I give the number. Man. I know. I can't believe I swear
it was on that notebook on a blue piece of paper.
I know, and I thought I brought it in here and left it, but I must have taken it back with me. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it really doesn't
matter. All right. Well, for me, for my art, djonesartcollection.com for the web, at djonesartcollection for TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. And as I mentioned early on in this episode, we are going to share another song at the end of our theme song. This song is called Warning, and written by Tom Kelly. Tom Kelly sings on it. It's me on the rhythm guitar, David James on lead guitar, Rich Buckland on bass, and Milo Tedesco on the drums.
I love this song.
It's a good song.
It is.
It's a rocker.
Yeah, it is.
It's a fun one, though.
Yep. It's a get up and dancer.
Yeah. Yep. So I hope you enjoy it. And we hope everybody has a great week.
That we do.
And until next week, peace and love.
don't want